Welcome to the Chapter 3 Eligibility Determination Confidential Income Statements for Child Care Centers training for the Child and Adult Care Food Program hosted by the Oregon Department of Education Child Nutrition Programs. This training is not required for at-risk and homeless programs. This training provides you with an overview of the CACFP Policy and Procedure Manual for Center-Based Sponsors, Chapter 3 titled Eligibility Determination, Sections A, B, and D. The objectives for this training are to review the purpose of the confidential income statement, also known as the CIS, the different types of eligibility, and administrative reviews in regards to CIS forms. We will review approving CIS applications in the training, approving confidential income statements for child care centers. There are three key items that are needed when working with confidential income statements. The confidential income statement is a two-page document. Page 1 includes the application that the parent or guardian will complete. Page 2 includes information regarding determining monthly income, the federal income guidelines, privacy statement, and the non-discrimination statement. The letter to the household is a fillable document that explains to the participant and the parent or guardians about the confidential income statement and who to contact if they need more information on how to fill out the form or if they have questions about CACFP. ODE-CMP recommends that the sponsor print out the current income eligibility guidelines provided to them. This ensures that the sponsor has the most current and up-to-date guidelines and can easily access the document when approving CIS applications. Sponsors can find confidential income statements, letter to the household, and federal eligibility guidelines in the following locations: the Oregon Department of Education Child Nutrition Program, also known as ODE-CMP's public website, annual memo sent on or prior to July 1 to the listed food program coordinator in CMP Web, and Chapter 3 Eligibility Determinations in the manual. ODE-CMP has the documents available in English, Spanish, Chinese, Russian, and Vietnamese on the ODE-CMP public website. For all other translations, please visit the USDA's Food and Nutrition Services website. Sponsors that claim one or more participants in the free or reduced price categories should set up a system to distribute CIS forms to meet program requirements. Sponsors must distribute the CIS and the letter to the households together to all participants at the time of enrollment and annually. For annual renewal, sponsors may determine the schedule for distributing the new CIS and letters to the households that best suits their operation. For example, distribution of the new form sometime during the period of July through October each year may help ensure that a sponsor has the maximum number of CIS forms returned by participants or guardians to allow the sponsor to determine eligibility and approve the CIS by October 31st. Enrollment in a center or participation in CACFP cannot be contingent upon the parent or guardian completing the CIS. Sponsors are not required to have a CIS for every participant, and parents or guardians cannot be required to submit a CIS. If a parent or guardian chooses not to complete a CIS, the participant is automatically determined as above scale. There are three different ways to determine the eligibility when reviewing a completed confidential income statement. Categorical eligibility is determined when the parent or guardian provides a case number for the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program known as SNAP, Temporary Assistance for Needy Families known as TANF, or an indication on the application that the household receives Food Distribution Program and Indian Reservations or FDPIR benefits. Income eligibility is determined when the household income has been provided by the parent or guardian for each individual in the home and the current federal income guidelines. Foster children are categorically eligible for free meals if the sponsor obtains documentation from the appropriate state or local foster care agency or court indicating the status of the child as a foster child whose care and placement is the responsibility of the state, or that the foster child has been placed with a caretaker household by a court. Children formally placed in kinship care by a child welfare agency or a court are also eligible. Many sponsors participating in the National School Lunch Program and School Breakfast Program in Oregon are participating in the Community Eligibility Provision, also known as CEP. For the sponsors that are participating in CEP and operate child care sites, the sponsor must distribute, collect, and approve CIS forms for enrolled participants. There are a number of other ways that participants can be classified in the free category without a CIS form on file. For more information on the different ways, please refer to Chapter 3 of the manual. Next is a brief overview on approving confidential income statements. When approving confidential income statements, keep in mind only complete CIS forms can be approved as free or reduced price eligible. If a section is missing pertinent information, then the form is determined as above scale. Sponsor officials may not complete any part of the household section of a CIS for a parent or guardian unless the parent or guardian cannot read or write, has a disability and requires assistance, or request or requires sponsor assistance to complete the CIS for any reason identified by them. Sponsors need to have the current federal income guidelines on hand when determining if CIS forms qualify based on income. ODE CMP highly recommends a sponsor has an employee as a second check for all approved CIS forms. For more information on approving confidential income statements, please see the training Approving Confidential Income Statements. During announced and unannounced administrative reviews, ODE CMP staff will review CIS forms used to create the 1-month enrollment report for completion and accuracy. ODE CMP will classify participants as above scale when certain information is missing from the approved CIS on file. If errors are found resulting in overclaims, the sponsor may be required to return funds through fiscal action to ODE CMP. Additionally, ODE CMP staff may find other errors that can result in administrative review findings. For more information on common errors, please see Chapter 3, Section D, Common Errors That Can Be Costly in the manual. To review, this training covered the purpose of the confidential income statements, the different types of eligibility, and administrative reviews in regards to CIS forms. Thank you for participating in the Confidential Income Statements Child Care Centers training for the Child and Adult Care Food Program. If you have any questions, please contact your assigned child nutrition specialist. We greatly appreciate the work that you do to fuel Oregon's future.